Hi viewers, in this video I will be explaining you how to use the DGET function available in Excel. So this function can be used as an alternative to VLookup, but it has its own advantages as well as disadvantages. So like any function, so in VLookup we know you cannot VLookup to the left actually. So like that, there are certain advantages and certain disadvantages for the DGET functions. The first most advantage is you can even look up to the left. VLookup only looks to the right and gives you a value, but DGET function actually looks even to its left and throws you an result. So we will see as a basic usage of DGET function. So DGET has three fields to be filled. One is database, the entire table range you want, or the basic data table is the database you want to select, and this database should actually contain an header. I mean every column should have its own header. So name is a header and these are all the values available under the name. Role is an header and these are all the values available under the role, and the properties is a header and these are all the values available. So when you select a database, in the first thing you have to select including a header. For using DGET function, header is very important. Then the second one is which heading or under which heading the required result is there. So you can either select it as name or you can give the column reference number 1. So this is the first column, A is the first column, B is the second column, C is the third column. So you can give accordingly 1, 2 or 3, or otherwise you can select the heading name which you want as the answer. This should be equal to this, no additional spaces, no difference in characters. It should be exactly the same to get the correct answer. Then the third one is the criteria. So for the criteria you have to select the criteria. In VLookup we will be selecting only Thor, but in using DGET you have to give the criteria under which heading this criteria comes. So you have to select the or give the reference to the heading as well as the criteria. So I have to search for Thor under the role heading. So I will give enter and you can see that the answer is Chris Hemsworth. So in VLookup only you can get the answers in the right side of the column, but using DGET you have got the answer from the left side of the column. So this is the advantage of using DGET function. Another added advantage is you can even search based on a partial name. So I know Iron Man, but I don't know whether hyphen man or space man will come. So I will just give Iron and then give enter. You still get the answer as Robert Downey Jr. because the DGET function searches based on the first characters of this thing available here. So Iron is only available here, and again so the name is Robert Downey Jr. And you can also give 2 or more conditions or criteria in the DGET function, which is not actually possible in VLookup. Say I also want to search based on properties, but still everyone has unique properties. Say I have Robert Downey Jr. twice. I will just delete these formulas. I have Robert Downey Jr. Twice. In one he uses the so Iron Man with suits is Robert Downey Jr. and say Iron Man in lab is someone else, Robert Downey Sr. something like that. So just to get the answer, so I know Iron Man, but if I look up based on Iron Man I will get the first one available, Robert Downey Jr. but I need to check based on properties lab. So I will use DGET function, select the entire database from the including the headers, and then you want to get the name again 1, so then the criteria is role Ironman and properties lab. This is similar to advanced filter usage. The criteria is available in the same row, but in different columns, means it is and condition. So Ironman and lab should be there to identify the answer. But if you give it in the next column or next row, say Ironman, and I am giving here as something like the villain's name, then it will be acting as an OR condition. So it will search for Ironman or that villain's name, so and enter. So you see Robert Downey Sr. So Ironman and lab is here, and you get the answer as Robert Downey Sr. So what is the actual disadvantage of this function is that, say, sorry, yeah, but I have given only Ironman. If I give only Ironman as the criteria, there are 2 Ironman available in this list, so it will not give you an answer. In VLookup, if you use a condition which is occurring more than once, it will give you the answer related to the first row in which that lookup value occurs. But in DGET function, the criteria you are mentioning should be unique to the name or the result. You cannot have 2 same criteria or 2 same values in the criteria column. So having 2 Ironmans will result in an error. Similarly, if you search based on Captain, say Captain has Captain America and as well as Captain Marvel, so you cannot get the name of the person. Only if you give another letter you can get the answer. So it should be unique in the list itself. So if you are mentioning both criteria, the and, so Ironman and suits and Ironman and lab, so both this should be unique. So suits and lab differs, so therefore the answer actually came correctly. But if you give only Ironman, the answer will not be coming, it will throw an error. So this is an disadvantage of the function. Also, you cannot copy paste this formula and drag down or give in the next rows, because we have to give the reference to the row or column header as well as the criteria. You cannot have the entire range selected, because it will attract as an OR condition. Even in the OR condition also, you cannot give the 2 available criteria. So you cannot give Captain America and Thor at the stretch and require an answer to be thrown by the formula. You can only have unique criteria. Only one should be available here if you are actually searching using OR criteria. If you are searching using AND criteria, combining both, it should be unique. Ironman and suits is different, Ironman and lab is different, therefore it will give you an answer. But Ironman and suits, if both are Ironman and suits, the answer will not come like that. So this is the basic idea of the function DGET. So practice at your end. You can create some table like something like this and actually practice. And if you have any queries regarding this, you can ping me through the comments and I will be replying to you at the earliest time possible. So subscribe to the channel and get Excelified. Thank you.